Hello, my darlings. I'm back, and it's almost a nonfiction book because it's written about a very famous, amazing, real astronaut and what it was like when she was a child, when people tried to discourage her from her dreams of being an astronaut, and also about the people who really supported her too. So I love it because it's about when she was a kid and she remembers it so well. And it's got such a happy ending because she does end up being an astronaut, and she's a very famous woman nowadays and forevermore. So the name of this book is May Among the Stars. Her first name was May, M-A-E. May. Do you want to say that? May. May Among the Stars. Let's say that. May Among the Stars. Isn't that a beautiful title? And it's written by Rhoda Ahmet and illustrated by Stasia Burrington. So they got together and made us this amazing book. And let's see what they have on the inside. You know how I always like that? Oh, what a beautiful color. May Among the Stars had it kind of looks like the sky, but really intense. And then here's the title page, May Among the Stars. Remember, we also have the spine. We're learning. Oh, plus this is called the end paper. And funny enough, even the back is called the end paper. End paper, end paper. Love learning things about books because I love books. So we got the title page, May Among the Stars. Oh, then we have this beautiful extra title page about her with a picture of her dancing out into space. All right, so we start out here. There's little May. She's leaning against the tree, just thinking. She just likes to think. Do you like to think sometimes? Just sit there and look at something or nothing and just think. Well, she did. And then the book starts out. Little May was a dreamer. They say that daydreamers never succeed, but little May was different. And see, I think daydreamers always succeed because imagination is so wonderful in life. So I guess other people might have said it differently, though. One day, May was working on an assignment for school where they were asking the kids to all say what they wanted to be when they grew up. What will you tell them, May? Asked her mom. I will tell them I want to see Earth. But first, they didn't understand her. You know, sometimes people don't understand you and you have to kind of explain until they do. But sometimes people just don't understand. But in this case, she had a very kind family. And her mom took her outside and her dad, and they're looking at the moon. And she said, this is Earth, May, her mother said. The flowers, the grass, the forest, and the mountains. We live on Earth. And she said, I know, but I want to see the Earth from out there. I want to look back and see the Earth. And her mom and dad were very encouraging. And they said, that's an amazing plan, little May. Then you have to become an astronaut. That way you can see the Earth from outer space. And she said, astronaut? Do you think I could do that? Do you ever get an exciting thought and you just can't wait to figure out what to do next about it? And her mom, who is so wonderful, said to her, and she said this throughout the book, she said, of course you can. If you can dream it, if you believe it, and you work hard, anything is possible. So her mother was so encouraging to her. I love when we have people around us who encourage us in things that we get excited about. So they went to the library and looked at that wagon full of books to find out everything she could find out about being an astronaut so she could have a really wonderful presentation at school about what she wants to be when she grows up. And then, even after that, she was so excited, she took boxes and made herself a rocket ship and her astronaut outfit. And she really enjoyed it. And it was very dark outside. She stayed up late that night, just getting so excited about what being an astronaut might feel like. Look at all the pictures she drew over here. Oh, little May, she's so amazing. Later, she asked her dad, and he was very supportive too. She said, but how do I become an astronaut? It seems impossible. And he said, you will find your way, little May, because if you dream it, you believe it, and you work hard for it, anything is possible. So that must have been something that the family said to each other a lot. And it really, really inspired May for how she was going to get to be an astronaut. And she says, but space is so far, far away. Look, they're looking with the telescope up at the sky. You can see things up close. And he says, it's closer than you think, little May. And you may get there sooner than you think. It's closer than you think, and you may get there sooner than you think, he says. He's so encouraging. Love that, Dad. That night, May had wonderful dreams about being up in space and just seeing how the Earth looked from space. And she thought that in her dreams, she thought that the Earth, when she looked back at it from space, looked like a crystal ball. She's got such a nice imagination. The next morning, May told her parents about the dream. She told her cat about the dream. She told her friends about the dream. She told her grandma. She called her on the phone. She told her about the dream. She just wanted to tell everybody and every kitty that she saw or dog about the dream. She was that excited. So the next day in school, now I think teachers are the best in the whole world, but once in a while you get one that doesn't quite understand you, and that's the case with this teacher. But don't worry, it turns out really well. But anyway, she asked the class for everyone to tell what they wanted to be when they grew up. And this boy says, I want to be a firefighter. And this girl says, I want to be a teacher. And this boy says, I want to be a football player. And this one says, she got her little doll, I want to be a mama. And little May said, I want to go to space. I want to be an astronaut. But the kids started laughing. Look, it even got dark when the kids started laughing. Miss Bell asked, May, are you sure you don't want to be a nurse? Nursing would be a good profession for someone like you. No, I say. But she stands up for herself and she says, I don't want to be a nurse. I want to be an astronaut. I love that she just was firmly and kindly saying, no, I want to be an astronaut. She stood up for herself. But it did affect her. May felt very disappointed. Look at her. She's riding home in the car and she's just feeling really sad because the teacher, and teachers have a lot of power, was telling her she couldn't be an astronaut. At home, May started crying. Miss Bell said I can't become an astronaut, she says. And her mother says, oh, what a silly thing to say. She said, she told me I should be a nurse instead, said May. And Her mom wiped away her tears. My dear May, I hope you didn't believe her. I love the way her mother is with her. And May says, but of course I believed her. She's my teacher. And then her mom says such an amazing thing. I'm sorry Miss Bell didn't encourage you, but she can't stop you. No one can stop you. Follow your dream, May, and go to space, honey. What a wonderful mother. And that right then, she got all of her energy back. Look, she's just bristling with energy with all of these space things she's imagining. And she said, thank you, Mom. And I promise when I get up into space, I'm going to wave back at you and Dad. I'm going to do that. Her mom took her hand and they just started dancing together. And her mom says, you must always repeat to yourself, if you can dream it, if you can believe in it, and you work hard for it, anything is possible. So May went on dreaming, believing, and working really hard. And guess what? She actually grew up and went into space and did wave back at her mom and dad. And that's a true story. So I like at the very end of this book, they tell all about